So other than firing the negative person, how do you turn them around?
Some people,
You can't.
you can't. And as much as I'd like to believe that I could, see, I used to believe that I could take anybody, and I wasted so much time trying to turn them that it just wasn't worth the energy. And either people will, if people will start by just reading the affirmations and not complain about it, that's a good indication. The ones that complain about it, it's also a good indication that they don't want to grow. And that's kind of how I judge where somebody's really at in their just day-to-day mindset. It's a lot. I think we are naturally going to be neutral or negative. I think that you watch the news, you read the newspaper. If you looked at the positive versus the negative, we know there's more negative than positive. And I look at it as there's team positive and there's team negative. And this is the way I describe it with my kids. And this is how I get my kids to be really awesome kids. Is I say, who do you want to play for, team positive or team negative? And they say team positive. I say, perfect, okay. So you want to score points for team positive, right? Yes, that's what I want to do. Perfect. And so anytime they did something that was from team negative, I said, now, you said you played for team positive, and that's a team negative move. Are you going to score for team negative? No, I'm not. Okay, perfect. Let's play for team positive. So that's the way I use it with it's a very basic way of saying, here's team positive and here's team negative. Theologically, you can decide who's the CEO for team positive and who's the CEO for team negative. But that has to happen. In order for us to exist, there's positive and there's negative. That's just the laws of the universe. Turning somebody, it's tough. I've sent people to a trained psychologist because I just said, I can't help you. But a lot of people too, you'll find that naturally they go, God, I've always kind of thought this way. They'll read How to Influence People, and they already kind of do those things. It just takes it from their subconscious to their conscious, and so they're more aware of doing it. So I hope that answers your question.
It's a good one.
Okay.
Do you find like certain groups of people are more negative than others, like whether it be nationalities or age groups?
Yeah, I'll give you a good one. I went to school at BYU Hawaii. The Polynesian culture is everybody is your brother and sister. Right, Mark? Hey, bro, you never knew, you're going down, right? It's my cousin, right? They have such an innate ability to connect with people. Melvin White on your sheet is Polynesian. He went from 2 to 20 to 4. I picked Melvin because of who he was. I knew that he could connect with people because it's the way he was raised. So when you talk about the Polynesians, now they have some downsides too. We all do. But that's one of the greatest qualities they have is the ability to connect with people and to love people like they are their literal brother or sister. I find that people who use this phrase, the problem is, tend to be very negative in their mindset. So it's like they'll talk about something but the problem is, and I'm okay with the problem is as long as it's followed up with but the solution is. I'm not okay with people that complain and don't do anything about it. That explain the problem and choose not to do anything about it. That to me seems counterproductive. So I ask leading questions in interviews to figure out where their mindset is before I'll hire them. So, and then I'll require people to read How to Win Friends and Influence People before I'll hire them. And I'll ask them to come and download to me what they learned. And that's just the way I do it to make sure that because I've done it where I've done it the wrong way too. And so with my coach, that's the program that we followed is, I want quality people. I want people that are positive, want to be positive, want to have a better life, and I want whatever organization I consult for or work with, I want those individuals to have an improved life because of that business, not a life where they just go, I hate this job. And if you can do that, you can increase production profitability.
So you
Stop, right?
Stop. You dial back in your life and you change something. What are you doing with your time mostly?
Right now, so I spend all of 2012, not doing a whole lot of business, just kind of managing, spending a ton of time with my life coach, spending a ton of time with my family, taking my kid to school, which I never did. I was up at, before 6:03, I was up at about 5. I was on the way to the gym, and I would get home at 11 or 12 or 1, and I would rinse and repeat every day because I was striving to do these amazing financial things, forgetting that the most important asset that I have is my family. So I've been doing that. Recently, the market has really helped me out a lot. So a lot of the real estate that I bought now is worth more than it was when I bought it. In fact, Alex was a developer on a property that I bought, and I bought the note in Florida. And Alex Pockrass' name was all over the entitlements. It was a fantastic property. I paid $5.5 million. It was a pretty good deal, right?
Yeah.
Harborside paid 5.5. It was a $44 million loan. I paid 5.5. I sold it 2 weeks later for 7.5. Not a bad deal. But Alex, I have him to thank for that one. So I've dialed it back. I changed the car that I drove. I used to drive a very fast car. I got rid of my jet. I still have a couple like King Air planes that are slower. So I went from the black on black to now I have white cars. So I went through a bunch of psychological changes to dial my life back a little bit. Instead of driving a black on black Porsche Panamera Turbo, I drive a LR4 SUV that seats my whole family so I can take them with me. So those were the things the adjustments that I had to make. And we all have to make adjustments in life. I was just fortunate to make that adjustment, have my wife still hang in there with me. But I spent a long time repairing that relationship. And I will tell you, our relationship today is better than it's ever been. And she would say the same thing. But it took almost losing it in order to get to where we are today. And so that's that negative seed. If you manage it the right way, the positive fruit is very delicious. So,
How old are you today?
I'm 33 years old, going on 65.
That sounds negative.
Well, no, it's not, because I want to be wise like a 65-year-old in a 33-year-old body. No, I feel like I've lived the life and done some things in life that I've accelerated this path.